Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're jumping into a really fascinating exploration. We're looking at a nation that has, well, undeniably shaped global events for centuries, the United States of America. Our mission here isn't just to, list off facts. It's about cutting through the noise.
Right.
We want to extract the most crucial, maybe even surprising insights from our source material. A pretty solid overview of the USA from, well, almost every angle.
Exactly.
By the end of this, you won't just be informed, you should have a really cohesive feel for what makes this globally influential country tick.
And that really is the goal. Understanding a dynamic place like the USA isn't about memorizing stats, is it?
No, not at all.
It's about connecting the dots, how its massive geography influences its people, how its unique systems work, how its past keeps shaping its present and, its future. So this deep dive, it'll weave all that together for you, give you a comprehensive picture, but one that's actually pretty digestible.
Okay, so let's unpack this, starting with something fundamental, just its sheer physical presence.
Right.
The United States, it's located right there in North America.
Yeah.
Shares that northern border with Canada, southern border with Mexico.
Long borders.
Yeah, and incredible coastal access to Atlantic on the east, Pacific on the west. But what's often maybe not fully grasped is just how massive this country is.
It's huge.
Did you know the USA is the third largest country in the world? Not just by land area, but by population too.
That size is such a critical point, and it's not just one single landmass, which I think a lot of people forget sometimes.
That's true.
This huge nation, it's actually 50 states, and 2 of them are really quite distinct geographically. You've got Alaska, way up in the northwest of North America.
Right, separate.
And Hawaii, which is, an island state thousands of miles out in the Central Pacific. That spread alone tells you something about its diversity.
And within those 50 states, wow, the range of geographic features is incredible. We're talking massive mountain ranges, spanning multiple states, these huge plains that feed so much of the continent.
The breadbasket.
Exactly. Then you have arid deserts, these vast freshwater lakes, dense forests. It really is a land of such dramatic contrasts. Almost feels like several countries rolled into one sometime.
It really does.
So from that sheer expanse of land, it's natural to think about the people filling it. And the number's big, roughly 330 million.
Yeah.
That population itself is a story. But what's really distinctive about it, beyond just the number.
Well, what's really fascinating here is that it stands out as one of the most ethnically and culturally diverse nations anywhere in the world. You'll find really significant communities, people with deep ancestral roots from Europe, Africa, Asia, Latin America, all contributing to this vibrant, always evolving social fabric.
Yeah.
This isn't just a statistic, it's like a core characteristic. It influences everything: food, music, politics, you name it.
And yet, despite all that incredible diversity, the main language spoken right across the country is English.
That's true. But, this brings up an important question when you think about national identity.
Okay.
While many, many Americans identify as Christian, the country itself has no official national religion.
Right. Separation of church and state.
Exactly. The U.S. Constitution very strongly guarantees freedom of religion for everyone. It's a foundational principle, and it allows for that huge religious and spiritual landscape to coexist.
So how does a country this big, this diverse, actually govern itself? That brings us to its unique political structure. The United States is set up as a federal republic, and it operates as a constitutional democracy. Can you maybe unpack what that really means, practically speaking?
Absolutely. So federal republic means power is shared. It's split between a central federal government and the individual state governments. Yeah. And that creates this unique tension, actually. It allows for diverse local policies while still maintaining national unity. It's a constant balancing act you don't always see in other large nations.
Leads to those differences state by state we hear about.
Precisely. Laws, culture, it varies. And then, to ensure checks and balances at that federal level, the government's divided into 3 main branches.
Right, the classic 3.
Yep. First, the executive branch that's headed by the president. Then you have the legislative branch, which we call Congress. It's bicameral, meaning 2 houses, the Senate and the House of Representatives.
Got it.
And finally, the judicial branch, which is led by the Supreme Court. Right. They interpret the laws.
And presidents, they get elected every 4 years. And when you look at the national political scene, It's largely dominated by two major political parties, right? The Democratic Party and the Republican Party.
That's the main dynamic, yes. It defines so much of the political conversation in the US.
Okay, now here's where it gets really interesting for a lot of people. The economy. The United States has the largest economy in the world by nominal GDP. I mean, that's not just a big number. It signifies this massive economic engine.
No, it's absolutely a powerhouse.
Yep.
But its superpower status isn't just raw size. It's more about this unique blend of things, disruptive innovation, deep capital markets, and it consistently attracts global talent. That helps it constantly reinvent its industrial base, keeps it sort of ahead of the curve.
So it's adaptable.
Very. And its influence comes from leadership across so many different sectors. You've got technology, finance, healthcare, manufacturing, entertainment. It's broad. And of course, the US dollar is its official currency, recognized globally, underpinning so much international trade.
And when we talk about innovation and just that economic scale, it's maybe worth highlighting some of the huge companies based right there in the US. You know, Apple, Google, Microsoft.
Amazon, Tesla.
Right, exactly. These aren't just big names. They are global forces. They've really transformed how we live and work.
Totally. But what's also kind of a surprising detail for some people is that beyond the tech and finance stuff, the US is also one of the world's top producers of oil, natural gas, and agricultural products.
Right, resources too.
Yeah, it really shows the incredible breadth and depth of its economic base. It goes way beyond Silicon Valley. That combination of high tech and natural resources is actually pretty rare.
Okay, so if we connect this economic power to the bigger picture, American culture isn't just big inside the U.S. borders, is it? It's truly everywhere.
It really is.
It has this undeniable global influence. It just permeates societies all around the world.
You absolutely see this influence in so many areas, and it's often, you know, a kind of soft power.
How so?
Well, it's music. Think about everything from jazz and rock to hip hop. It's films, especially Hollywood, obviously, with its global reach.
Sure.
Television shows that capture huge international audiences, the ubiquity of its fast food chains, even its sports have found fans internationally. And think about how a concept like the American dream, which is often packaged in those films and songs, has really resonated globally, for better or worse.
Conceptually, I guess, the country is often seen as this potent symbol of freedom, innovation, individualism. It's a powerful narrative.
It is. And culturally, there are also these key American holidays that most people recognize, like Independence Day on July 4th, Thanksgiving, Memorial Day. Each one holds significant historical social meaning.
Right.
And beyond pop culture, let's not forget the U.S. is home to several world-renowned universities. Institutions like Harvard, MIT, Stanford, they're global leaders in education, research, scientific advancement.
Huge influence there, too. Okay, let's take just a brief look at its history, because you really can't understand the present without touching on the past.
Definitely not.
It starts, in a way, with declaring independence from Britain in 1776. A truly pivotal moment, established its founding principles.
Right. And from that point, it experienced this significant and often pretty tumultuous growth, westward expansion, massive waves of immigration, huge economic development, all steadily transforming it into the, dynamic, diverse nation we recognize today.
And it played such a major, decisive role in both world wars, really shaped the 20th century.
Absolutely.
And then emerged from that period as a global superpower, cementing its place on the world stage.
Yeah, and its history is also marked by these incredibly impactful domestic events. They really highlight its ongoing journey of sort of self-definition and progress.
Like what?
Well, you have the Civil War, 1861 to 1865, which abolished slavery, preserved the Union, and then the transformative civil rights movement in the 1950s and 60s, fundamentally challenging racial segregation.
Hugely important period.
Yeah, these internal struggles, alongside just continuous technological innovation through the 20th and 21st centuries, that really defines its evolution.
Wow. Okay, what an incredible journey we've just sketched out there. From the sheer physical size and the geographic diversity of the USA to its incredibly diverse population. Its unique economic power, driven by innovation, its undeniable cultural influence, and that pivotal historical journey independence to global superpower. It's a lot.
It is a lot. So what does this all mean for you, the listener?
Well, this deep dive gives you, hopefully, a rich tapestry. an understanding of a nation that constantly shapes global events and is shaped by them too. It's really meant as a shortcut to being well-informed about a country that impacts so much of our world. Helps you quickly grasp its complexities, maybe even its contradictions.
Absolutely. Well said. And maybe as you reflect on all this, here's a final provocative thought to consider.
Okay.
Given its vast geographic and cultural diversity, coupled with that history of profound innovation and these major societal movements, how do you think these internal characteristics continue to inform its role, its identity on the world stage moving forward?
That's a great question to ponder.
Yeah, something to think about. We definitely encourage you to keep exploring and keep nurturing that curiosity.